Holy packs. All right, guys. Well, this weekend I went to a card show. It was the the big sports card show and memorabilia show that they did over here locally, a few towns over from me. But they hadn't done it in 29 years, so it was the first year they have gone back and was able to put the show on. I think it's by cardboardpromotions.com. They're going to do this again in October. I think October 1st, they're actually going to have another one. So this was my first card show in a long time, very, very long time. Actually, first one in recent memory. So I got some videos of just me just going around looking at some things, and then I'll come back and show you what I got.
A few other things, some cards, mostly cards. Cards you can find. The baseballs. I already sold two. I sold the Jazz and Fisk. I don't have that much different stuff for the Shriners. No fun. You think. Bring some of that good stuff.
75 minis. Bobby Mercer. Patrick Mahomes. Nice. Got Adam Boom. So, as you can see from the, well, hopefully the videos gave you a sense of how many tables there were. There's only about 30 tables, and I didn't take too many videos. I didn't want to be intrusive about it. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a sense of what the show looked like. So it wasn't huge, but it wasn't small either. So but I did find out about the card show from one of my local card shops. Actually, here's his business card here, the Uptown Cards. So he told me that this was happening, that he was going to have a table there. So I went and visited him and said hi. But definitely a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, obviously a lot of slabs, a lot of new stuff, and then there was a lot of ungraded things too. And I think that's really where people were honing in on, trying to get some serial numbered cards that might not have been graded, so they can go off and get it graded and maybe get make a little money or something like that. So so there definitely was a lot of that. I didn't go in with much cash because I knew if I went in with a lot of cash, I'm gonna go spend it. So I went in with very little cash and kind of perused and looked around at all the tables. And that's one of the things I learned early on from one of my first card shows. One of my dad's friends told me, he said, don't go after the first card you like, right? You look around because you could probably find the same card and maybe for a better price. And funny thing is like, so I was looking at a lot of the Wayne Gretzky rookie cards. They had a lot of 4s, 5s, 6s, and they're all right around the same price. So if you went in and bought a 4 for like $1,100, you could have went and got a 6 for $1,100 as well. So you got to take your time and look around and get what you want. But I'll mention something about that cash in a little bit at the end of this, but I'll just show you real quick what I got. So only spent $10, which is actually, well, $3 to get in, but $10 in all. So what there were a couple tables where there was just older vintage, right? Stuff in binders and then stuff in boxes and things. And one of the things I was just looking through, this guy had a bunch of boxes, and some of these boxes were like junk wax stuff, mixed in, everything else, or just random stuff. and he was selling it. He told me he'd sell them for $5 a box. But so I looked at this box real quick, saw it was 1980s tops, right? And then similarly to this box, it's the same thing, just a bunch of 1980s tops, but they're all in really great shape, right? So as you can see, right, they're in really decent shape. So they are commons. They're marked as commons. I went through this box already, and yeah, here's just an example of like how the shape of the cards, right? They're all in really good condition, right? But you get some minor Hall of Famers, right? Ted Simmons. You get some, you know, all-stars from the time. You know, Lou Whitaker, Willie Randolph. So you get some low-key guys in there, enough to make it worthwhile, of course. But what I did was I went through this box, and I have 600 cards in here right now, and there's no duplicates, so it's all 600 straight up. So what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna turn around and sell this on eBay. I don't know how much yet. I have to do some comparisons, but definitely gonna sell it as a starter lot. Hoping maybe I can get like, you know, maybe 30 bucks, 30, 40 bucks for it. But again, 600 cards, all in really great shape. So maybe do a starter set on eBay. And if I can do that, if I can sell it for, you know, let's say low end, it goes for, you know, 25, right? I'm gonna do the same thing here, but I think these ones have more duplicates, but they're in a lot better shape too. So I'll try and like go through them, and maybe if I pick out the dupes, it can, you know, I don't know, maybe I can sell another 600. But essentially I'm just trying to make, all I'm trying to do is just make money on this. I'm not even trying to do anything else. You know, I saw these boxes, I knew I could get more than, you know, he was selling them for $5. I knew I could turn around and sell for more than 5. So that's all this play was for me. And if I can actually turn around and sell these, let's say for 25 and 25 and get $50 out of it, right? Then I'll take that, and, you know, then I'll start saving up for the next trip in October and maybe get some more actual cards. But I think for my trip, what I wanted to do, just go and see the show, go and see what it was all about. This was perfect. I got boxes that I liked. This is what I would have went for anyway if I saw it on Facebook or, you know, anything like that. So it worked out really well for me. Now for my quick PSA though. One thing I did notice, and I understand why it is, right? Obviously a lot of cash transactions at these places. One is good for the buyer and two is good for the seller. One, from the buyer perspective, you know, cash transactions, you don't have to report that stuff. You don't really have to show how much you made or report to the government, so you save a little money that way. And then you also don't have to worry about any sort of fees if you list it on eBay or stuff like that. And vice versa. If you're the buyer, you can buy something, you can negotiate right there. You know, you don't have to buy it for the sticker price, and you're getting something for a little bit cheaper than you would have gotten it for eBay, and you don't have to pay any seller fees and blah, 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 blah. Right? So cash transaction at these shows, I understand it. It makes a lot of sense. But if you are going to these shows, be a little bit more mindful of the cash that you're throwing around, right? I saw a lot of kids, and I say kids to me, right? Teenagers, college age guys who are just going around opening up like the bank bags and just have a stack of hundreds and everything else, and that's great, but they're just flaunting it around and without really any regard of who's around and who's watching them, right? I know, for example, at the place this was at, this was just a hotel in an industrial park, right? So there's not a lot of security, there's not a lot of people there. So all somebody has to do is know, all right, this guy just went in here with like $10,000 in cash, right? You're an easy mark. Just be a little, you know, just be a little bit more mindful. Maybe this is the Jersey in me coming out, you know, just you know, not just running around with all this cash. But I would say, if people knew how much cash was really being transacted at these places, you know, you really got to be mindful of your surroundings and be a little bit more, little less, I guess, flaunting of the money, right? A little less of showboating. Hey, look at all this money I'm going to spend. Like, I wouldn't do it as much as some of these guys were doing it. And because all the wrong person just has to catch wind of how much money's there, and then it's a much different story at the end of the day. But overall though, great experience for me. You know, I will do this again. They're coming back in October. I'm going to try and do it. I did not Did not do any of the Hall of Famers. I must have missed whenever they were doing it because they were not there when I was there. But I did pull a bunch of Bob Stanley cards aside for him to sign it, but I didn't see him. So, oh well. Until next time, but I hope you guys enjoy that, and next time it happens. And thanks Uptown Cards for letting me know about the show. Next time I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try and steal Wax Packs and see if he can go as well, because I know he wasn't able to go this time. So, till next time. See ya.